To be in a truck driving towards a tornado is one of the coolest things you can do as an actor.
Who are they?
It's Tyler Owens. Calls himself a tornado wrangler. If you feel it!
Scared of nothing and I'm scared to death.
Ever since I was a kid, growing up in Texas, Twister was like one of the most iconic movies of all time. You know, you grow up sort of in Tornado Alley. That is the monster that exists in your own backyard. And it's also a movie that sort of is emblematic of a lot of the place and the people in that region and sort of the heroes of that area. And I think as far as Hollywood goes, you never really know which dreams come true and which get cut off before they begin to grow. But they brought Lee Isaac Chung on board. Daisy and I got to chemistry read together. She told me it was instantaneous, the way she felt about me.
Oh, she's perfect!
She's gorgeous.
I've been making a list of directors I could only dream of working with. When I saw Minari, I put Isaac straight on there. I just love his work. I think he is such a phenomenal talent. So when I heard he was doing Twisters, I was like so curious about that. The idea of someone like Isaac, who's so incredibly good at crafting relationships and character, to see him take on this like huge scale of a project. I wrote him a letter and I was like, I'm sure you have lots of people you're considering, but I'd love to meet and I'd love to be considered too. We met and we went on a walk and I just told him, like, I come from TV, I come from a more indie background too, and so, you know, I'm beginning to be in things of this scale, but I'm still very green, and so I was like, I'd love to be on that journey with you. Then we met again a week later and he was talking me through the CGI he was gonna do, and he was like, so yeah, I'd love you to kind of be in it, so yeah. And I was like, did you just cast me?
Such an Isaac way to dish out.
I know. It's like,
super calm, stoic.
I know.
Guys, whatever's in there, it's big and it's moving fast. Drive.
Sometimes when these big movies come around, you know, maybe the script kind of doesn't feel like it's all the way there, or I don't know, it feels like they put a director there that can just get bossed around by the studio. When I saw Isaac was directing this, I knew, I was like, nah, I know that this guy's gonna do this film in a way where we really care about the people. And I really believe he did that with this movie, and Glenn and Daisy are some of the best doing it right now. So to get to play with them and work with them and learn from them, that's the dream. You know, that's as an actor, that's what you hope for.
You're kind of blasted from all sides by, like, I mean, we had actual jet engines on set, actual debris and dirt and rain. Also, plus that, the environment of actual Oklahoma, which is like it was so hot. I felt like being put, what I can imagine being like tumble dried felt like but like less comfortable. I like slept so well after every day of work.
It's so true.
There's all that big physical stuff, but then there's the stuff where it's like, it's super cold outside and we're shooting a scene for summer in the winter now. When we came back after the strike, and they're like, can you just suck on these ice cubes so we can stop from the steam coming out from when you guys speak?
Put more cold on you to stop steam, so it's still summer.
So we're like this before the scene. Then they call action, and then we're like in it, and we're freezing, but they're just like, they're looking to see if there's steam coming out of our mouths, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna have to paint that out, or we can't. You know? So I mean, it's all those little things. That was brutal. That.
There was that one night where we got back to the hotel, and it was like a full-blown. It was like we were in a full-blown tornado, essentially.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's hardcore. Yeah, no, I mean, shooting in Oklahoma, obviously you're shooting in Tornado Alley, in tornado season. There was a day in which there's sort of like a farmer's market that's supposed to get blown down the street, and right before we shot the farmer's market getting blown down the street by jet engines, a real
windstorm.
I don't know how many, was it 80 miles an hour or something like that, just took the entire farmer's market. And so we were just kind of chilling inside while they had to rebuild a farmer's market because of the real storm before we had to shoot the fake storm. If you have people that were prima donnas or high maintenance, this is not the set for you. This is a set where you're gonna get dusty, you're gonna get hit in the face with hay and dirt and ice cubes and rocks and furniture. It could have been a pretty torturous process, but we really had a great team, and just everybody had a great attitude and was just down for the cause. So it made getting hit in the face with things quite fun. Let's ride. There was a tornado when I was a kid that went through Gerald, Texas. That was an F5 tornado. I wasn't like in it. It was close. Driving with my aunt. It was a car full of my cousins, and I remember when you're young, you don't know what's dangerous and what's not. You can just kind of read the context clues, and I saw absolute terror on her face. The thing that scares you the most, the thing that gets your blood pumping, sometimes are the things that draw you in. It's just the idea that something that scary can drop down from the sky. It's baked into you in a different way.
I'm from London, so my experience of weather is like all the trains are shut down if like there's like a light sprinkle of snow. I think the first time I went to New Orleans, I had no concept for like, I don't know, like what a massive weather event would feel like. And I remember I think it was my second night, I woke up in the night to a tornado alert, and I was like, oh, like what do I do? Do I like get under the bed, or like I had no idea what to do, and obviously I just assumed that meant it was like upon me.
They're combining.
It's upon me. I think that but I really remember just being there and lying in bed and hearing thunder that was like that shook the room, and I think it's an incredible thing. It's partly why I think people are fascinated by chasing, by being up close to something that huge and that like ancient and that natural. You're like, oh, I'm a small thing on this planet.
I mean, the most that happened to me was Hurricane Sandy when in New York. I had to quarantine for 2 days. One of my cousins actually lost her home. And then I went to Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria. So I wasn't there when it happened, but I went after. And it really shows you the power of the earth, but also how people persevere. And this one woman kept saying, we were cleaning out what used to be this old man's home. She kept saying, "Quien dice no se puede?" And like, who said we can't do it? Who said we can't do it? And I just like, I'm looking at this woman like, yo, there is devastation over here. And she just keeps like this level of endurance and perseverance that she just has, that the people have.
I also think that's kind of defines the people of Oklahoma too. You realize when you get to Oklahoma, there's like a pride that people stay here, and weather becomes your neighbor. Despite all these things that the earth is gonna throw at you, you're gonna stay there. You may get hit, your neighbors may get hit, but you're gonna pick up after each other. There's a sense of pride there, and I think it really defines the state. You don't face your fears. You ride them.
The first time I saw the trailer, actually, I was on a flight from New York.
You watched the trailer on the flight?
Yeah, it dropped on the Super Bowl, like as I was on a flight with heavy turbulence. It was very unnerving. Obviously, the like tornado sirens, and then there was like bumps in the flight.
Like 40X. Yeah.
What? Yeah, it was really like 40X. I hadn't seen it either, so it was like the first time I was seeing not just the trailer, but also the CGI, like what we were actually pretending to run from. It looked really like scary. Amazing to see also like what's already becoming a meme, like the twins line with Brandon.
Oh yeah, that's it. It's iconic.
We got twins! Twins!
Every pregnancy announcement for it's like he owns it from now. That's his gift. He's gonna have that forever.
People got excited though. People got excited for the trailer, and that's what you hope for. When we came back right after the strike, and we got to sit around the computer and watch like the first 20 minutes together. I was like, damn, this feels huge.
Obviously, it feels big when you're making it. I mean, there's like hundreds of vehicles. Everybody put their body on the line and potential eyesight on the line to look into fans as things are being pelted in your face. But sometimes you make a movie in Oklahoma, it kind of feels like you're making a movie in private until all of a sudden you unleash it at the Super Bowl, and then all of the world's like, whoa, Twisters, like, oh yeah, everybody else cares too, that's cool. It's so fun when you actually feel like this movie, I mean, we got the goods. I'm really, really proud of this movie, but I think even more so, it speaks of like the belief by, the studio and the fans and everybody else when you unleash something at the Super Bowl and it gets that response.